What's going on, guys? Alex here with TFL Bike. It's the beginning of February, it's before 9 a.m. and it's 40 degrees outside, high of 61 today. We've been really lucky with some awesome weather. So I pulled the bike out and I've been riding it to work these past couple days, and I realized I've never given you guys a full proper walkthrough of my MT-09 on the channel. I know I've made a couple videos with it on the Now channel before we started TFL Bike, but now that we have a channel for it, I figured I'd give you a full walkthrough. So yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about why I bought the bike and what mods I've done to it, and yeah, I'll just give you a little bit of a walkthrough. So first of all, this is a 2019 Yamaha MT-09. I bought it about a year ago, coming up on a year. I've put about 3,000 miles on it since then, and yeah, the used market for these is just absolutely flooded. So you might be thinking, why didn't I buy one used? Because I did buy this brand new, and the answer was I wanted ABS and traction control. So that's I needed 2017 and newer, and I couldn't find one on Craigslist. They were all like 2015s. So yeah, the used market's pretty flooded with these. They're pretty cheap if you are okay with having a bike without traction control and ABS. I decided to go the other route, and yeah, I'm really happy with the bike overall. But let me tell you a little bit about why I bought it. Mainly it's the sound. I love Yamaha's triple. It just sounds so damn good. So let me get it into neutral, give you a little sound test. Yeah, that's addicting when you're on the road. That's really the main reason I bought this bike. Is the sound. It sounds incredible. So let's start with the mods. You can probably tell I have an aftermarket exhaust since I started it up. Let's start with that. This is the Akrapovic titanium exhaust for the MT-09. And I actually went with this system. This is the older version of the titanium exhaust. They have a newer one now that has a carbon fiber cap back here on the exhaust outlet. And that one is Euro 5 compliant. I decided to go with this one because the baffle is removable. You don't have to drill out a weld, it's just a little bolt. Whereas the newer system, you have to drill out a weld to get the baffle out. So I like my exhaust to be pretty loud. I wanted to take the baffle out, so I decided to go with the older system, and it mounts up just fine to the newer bikes. Let's now start at the front and kind of work our way back a little bit. So I do have some Woodcraft axle sliders on there. I've been meaning to put the frame sliders up here by the frame. You can see I kind of taped off a long time ago where I was going to cut so that it would fit, and then I never got around to it, so the tape has since fallen off. I've got the axle sliders on the rear too, and then moving on with bike protection, you can see I have some GB Racing engine covers. I have the full set on both sides of the bike. So yeah, I've got that. Coming back here to the front, you can see I've got an MRA Racing windscreen up here. Doesn't really do much. It's a naked bike. You take all the wind in your chest and your head no matter what. This was mainly for looks. I kind of like the sport bike look, you know, like fully fared 600s and leader bikes have a nice racing windscreen, and I kind of like that look. So I yeah, decided to put that on there. I just installed these. These are Oxford heated grips. The controller's right over here for them, and they get ridiculously hot. You can even turn them on when the bike's not on. And then they have an automatic timeout, so if you forget to turn them off, they will turn off by themselves. But they get extremely warm, and you can feel them through gloves, no problem. Tech spec grip pads here by my knees. I love those. If you're an aggressive rider, you ride a sport bike, and you like kind of getting your legs off the bike, these are really, really good to have. And then coming back to the tail section of the bike, the MT-09 comes with this tire hugger rear fender that I really wasn't a fan of, so I did a TST Industries Fender Eliminator, got rid of that. Sorry, it's not up there. It gets rid of it over here on the swing arm side. You can actually see this little axle block. That's what you replace, and that gets rid of the fender. And then I mounted my plate up here behind the rear tire with a little TST Industries light and these little reflectors. Yeah, I kind of like the tucked look of the plate there. Let's see, what else have I done to this? I forgot about the Crg levers, so I have those on both sides. They are adjustable, so you can adjust the distance in and out. I also put some new turn signals on here. These are Rizoma turn signals. They're made out of aluminum and they're ridiculously expensive, but they are super bright. And yeah, I like being safe, so it was worth a little bit of extra money to get some really bright lights on there. As far as what else I have on here, not much at the moment. Sometimes I have a little GPS mounted right here in the place where the Oxford grips are, but that's more of a summertime thing. Yeah, and then you're probably wondering what's on the tail of my bike right here, and that's the Kriega Dry Pack. This is their 5-liter pack, and this is where I keep all my tools. So yeah, I'll give you a little peek at that real quick. And actually, before we get there, now that I have this off, I'll just show you how it mounts, because it's pretty cool. So let me grab my key here. MT-09 has a really funky key placement for the rear seat. You kind of have to get all the way under the bike. But now I can wiggle the seat off, and yeah, it just uses these 2 straps right here. So you can move it between bikes, no drilling, no permanent installation, and it's super secure. And then while we're under here, you can also probably see, got a little battery tender hookup right there, and then something else you might want to take a peek at. Got a little angel, always keeping me safe under the tail of my bike. But yeah, let's move on to this tool roll, because you're probably curious as to what I carry. This thing keeps all your stuff dry, which is pretty cool. So yeah, got the main tool roll there. That's also made by Kriega, however you say that. Got a couple other things though. Just, you know, some of the tools the bike came with. Little tool for the rear shock, and a 12 mil that apparently I forgot to put back in the roll. And then in here, I've just got a couple more things. So little Allens, couple wrenches, tire repair tools. These are some sockets and screwdriver bits that I just keep kind of containered up in this weird bolt container. Adjustable wrenches, and then over here I have a bunch of CO2 canisters with a little inflator and then some additional patches and stuff in here. So what you do is you just hook up the little hose to there, hook up the canister to the bottom of here, and you can actually inflate tire on the side of the road just using these. So you don't need to carry a compressor, and that has actually saved not my butt, but my friend's butt on the side of the road. And if your friend can't ride, you're probably not riding either. So it's always good to have your friend's backs. That's why I always carry tools: zip ties, tape measure, some glue, Loctite, just some various stuff and the tools you need to fix some stuff on the side of the road. As far as what I'm going to do to this bike, oh, I forgot one more thing I wanted to show you guys. I put a new taillight in this bike. It's by Custom LED, and it's called their Blaster X. So it actually has a blink function when I come on the brakes. Just a little bit of added safety. In terms of plans for this bike, I haven't gotten it tuned yet since I put the exhaust on, so I need to send the ECU out. Probably to V-Cycle Nut. If you guys have any recommendations for tuners, let me know down in the comments below. And then at some point I might do a full suspension on this bike, but that's like $2,000, and I don't track this bike anymore. I have an RC390 for that. So this is really a commuter and a weekend canyon riding bike in the summer. So I'm not really in a huge rush to do anything else to it besides get it tuned. I also want to do a dash flip. The old MT-09 SP has a reverse color dash, and all you need to do is take this apart and put a polarizing film on it at just the right angle, and it'll make whatever's white black and whatever's black white. So I'll probably do that at some point. Put the frame sliders on, get it tuned, and then it's pretty much set. I have a Michelin 5 road tire on the back. I keep forgetting things. I really like that tire, so I went through the stock one and then put that on. Front tire is still stock, but I'll put a road 5 on there when that one goes as well. If you have any questions about this bike, let me know in the comments. I'll read through the comments pretty carefully on this one and answer anything you guys got. But yeah, love the bike. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. This is actually my second Yamaha triple. I had a Tracer 900 before this. I'm in love with this bike. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.